is up, guys? Perky here, along with Oscar,
What's up, friends? How you guys doing?
and we wanted to bring you guys a little podcast, do some draft recap, that kind of thing. First of all, let me say thank you to Rick and Berg on the beat for the intro, outro music for the podcast. So appreciate it.
In his fancy setup, in his fancy home setup. Love it, Rick. Good stuff.
He's so cool. Like, can we just admit that Rick's probably the coolest person in our league?
Probably. Yeah.
But thanks Rick for letting us use some of your beats, and he's got some really cool beats. You should check it out. You can actually Google Berg on the beat. I found him. He's a real thing. And also thank you again to Luke for helping get the draft all ported over into Sleeper last night. And congrats everyone on your draft. It was
fun. It was. I felt like it wasn't as long as last year. There at the end, it got a little long-winded with those $1 keepers and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was fun in the beginning, even through Zoom. I'm not a fan of Zoom anymore, but it was pretty cool that we could all stay connected and, people all over the place. Jonathan and Gary in the DFW area, Luke wherever he lives. I don't even know where he lives. But yeah, it was really cool to see all the faces.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with all of our background noise at B-Dubs. We had like the coolest waiter. Ahmad was, dude, he came in and he like turned down the music for us. He was helped me, like he was on it, man. I tipped him pretty well because he was on it. I appreciate him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining and being in there. Chris, I'm glad you got on. Sorry had some trouble there, but glad it all worked out. We're bringing the podcast back. Last year we didn't do it, and some of you guys requested it. So we're going to try it out. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to put it up on YouTube here where you're finding it. You can subscribe, and that'll just let you know that it's coming up. I created this channel just for this podcast, which is super geeky and dumb, but this is what we do.
Me and Jonathan, we just love talking fantasy football, and now that we work together, we spend a lot more time than we should talking about fantasy football. And sometimes we'll bring Kyle in, we'll bring Obed in, and it's just fun. We love fantasy football, and so when Jonathan mentioned this, I was like, I'm in. I love talking about this, and this will give us a good outlet to talk about that, and then get to work for real.
Yeah. And so we'll talk through trades, and we'll talk through waiver pickups and all that kind of stuff. We'll try to get it out on Wednesday. We're also going to do an interview with each of the owners each week. We're still kind of trying to figure out how to do that, but we'll probably ask you guys to jump on a Zoom with us. Like we said, we do want to, we got some work to do, but we're going to have some fun too. And but yeah, so that's kind of what that'll be. It'll be fun. So what did you think of the draft last night?
You asking me personally?
Yeah.
No, it was great. I wish I would have had more money going into it, but it's, the downfalls of trying to win last year and giving up some of that draft cash, but that's okay. I was in the same boat as Kyle. So it wasn't fun, but it wasn't fun not having enough cash, but you make it work. You do the best with what you have. And I tell you what, some of those guys with over $50 left in draft cash, guys, got to spend your money. You can't keep that money. You can't take it with you. Spend money.
Gary and I talked about that for a little while last night. I was like, bro, like, what are you doing? It doesn't help you.
Luke was talking about it after everybody left the Zoom meeting. He was thinking the draft was going to go a different way. And so he saved up his draft cash to bid higher on some of those guys, and they never got to his price range. And so he just had extra cash left over, but got to spend it. So
I was surprised. I really thought prices were going to be super inflated this year because of who was left on the board and that kind of thing. But a lot of guys cheaper than I thought.
Yeah, receivers going for $50-$60, where in the past they were going for $85. So is pretty interesting to see.
AB went for like 85 one year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
crazy. At least before we knew he was crazy.
Yeah.
But well, so top spender, we want to hit top spender for the draft. So the actual most money that was spent on a player was $79 for the keeper of CMC, Mr. Andrew Strand. So going in hard. I mean, he's the 101. Can't blame him.
Christian McCaffrey. He's going to kill it. He's got a new offense, new coach, but he's Christian McCaffrey. He's one of the best running backs the league has seen in years. So,
Yeah.
if not the, and so I mean, $79. That's a great price, and it's still under $80. Still under $80 technically. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good price to spend on that guy. So, good job, great keeper. You did good.
Yeah, and then the highest priced non-keeper is real close with Michael Thomas, but the highest priced non-keeper was $70 for Saquon, Obed. Once again, I mean that's the right price.
Yep.
So not a lot to say there, but those were the big spenders. We had some others in 60s. It blows me away how much Josh Jacobs has gone for the last 2 years.
He went for a crazy price last year. I know. Who was it that got him?
Diego, I think.
Yeah, Diego. Diego got Josh Jacobs, and he was all in on him. I think he went in the $60 price range as a rookie. Yeah. That didn't have the pedigree of a Saquon. Still really good, great, great prospect, great outlook, but he went really high for a rookie. I don't remember what Clyde Edwards-Helaire went for, but he was the big rookie from this draft, and so
he's like 5-ish, something like that. Obed got him as well. So Obed spent $130, $135 on 2 running backs.
Yeah, those are some pretty big running backs. So
hard in the paint, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting. We want to talk about values, value of the draft. I'll go first. I'll let Oscar go. So the value I found, there were a lot that were kind of in the same range. Oddly enough, I'm not a big spend a lot of money on tight ends kind of person. Even though I spent $16 on Darren Waller, and whoever it was, I don't know, was it Rick or Luke? Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I bet him up to 15 since you're on auto draft." You suck. You're
playing the game.
Yeah, but best value I saw was actually Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram, New York Giants tight end, went for $2 to Justin Morath, and Oscar and I were joking about he is the wide receiver 1 right now. I mean, Sterling Shepard is there, but Golden Tate's hurt, Darius Slayton's hurt, and so Evan Ingram, I mean, at $2 that's a steal.
Yeah, and I think Daniel Jones is going to be great this year. He runs the ball a lot, but I think he's going to be so much better. And he can't just throw the ball to Saquon Barkley all the time. He's got to throw it to some receivers sometimes or tight ends. And so Evan Ingram's, like you said, he's probably the wide receiver 1, with Sterling Shepard a close second. And for $2, that is a steal. That is an absolute steal. I love it. That's a great pick for $2.
We'll see if he gets if he stays on the field. But I had a close second. Also, I really liked Will's pickup of Robert Woods for $30. I think a few people were like, "Oh yeah, I can't believe somebody spent $30." I was thinking Woods would go for 50 something. So Will, I think that was a great pickup with Robert Woods for $30.
Yeah, people sleeping on Robert Woods. He's gonna crush it this year. I think he could outscore Cooper Kupp, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But yeah, Robert Woods is great. He's fantastic. He always gets slept on. So my values of the draft. I actually. I didn't want to give kudos to this guy, but I thought Amari Cooper for $28 is a fantastic steal. With some of those wide receiver 1s going for 60, 50, high 40s, to get a wide receiver 1 for $28 is a steal. I know Amari Cooper's had some injury issues in the past, but man, him and Dak have a connection, and I think Amari Cooper's going to light it up. And so Dak has something to prove. Also, he wants that contract. So Dak's gonna be feeding people the ball, and Amari Cooper is going to be the recipient of a lot of that food. And so for $28, great job, Jonathan. That was a heck of a steal.
Thanks, man. Yeah, he's not my favorite wide receiver one. I had about 7 guys that I was like, I want one of these guys. We'll see. This could be the year, but we've got a long history of Amari Cooper being boom or bust. But man, for $28, it seemed like a no-brainer. The reward, the pretty low risk for a possible high reward. So
yeah. Absolutely. And so, we're trying to be fair and unbiased. So we didn't pick any of our own for these steals, because it's not fair. So my runner up, my close second to Amari Cooper at $28 was Luke's draft of Tyler Lockett at $17. Man, Tyler Lockett is going to kill it. I absolutely believe that. As long as they let Russell Wilson throw the ball and quit running the ball so dang much, Tyler Lockett's going to kill it. I know a lot of people are in on DK Metcalf, and he's going to be great, but Tyler Lockett's the one. And man, if he breaks free, it's lights out. So $17, that's a steal. So great pickup on that, Luke. Good job.
Yeah, that's a great. I agree. I think it's great value, great pickup. So and we want to look at best draft. And once again, we're not voting for our own, because obviously, Oscar, you and I had the best drafts, right?
That's absolutely right. Actually, I'm going to be honest and say, man, I could have done a lot better, but whatever, it's fine. You don't win in the draft. It's where you start your season, but you don't win the championship through the draft. It's how you build your season.
You can sure lose at the draft. And there may have been some people that did that.
You absolutely can. Yep.
So why don't you tell us who you picked for best draft?
Yeah, absolutely. So all things considered, this was Will's first time to play a fantasy football like this. I think he said he played just a regular snake draft a long time ago, but he's never done anything like this. And even when he did play fantasy football, it was years ago. But I thought Will has a fantastic starting lineup. If you look at his starting lineup, it is an absolute beast of a team. I do think that his bench leaves a little bit to be desired, but his starting lineup, I mean, he's got Russell Wilson, Miles Sanders, Michael Thomas, Allen Robinson, Hunter Henry, and Robert Woods. And he's got San Francisco's defense. Like that's a heck of a starting lineup. That's going to be tough to beat when all of those teams are playing. Man, for me, that is a lights out team, that starting lineup. As long as all those people stay healthy and he doesn't have to put any of his bench players in, he's going to be a tough team to beat. So great job, Will. Like I said, I know you haven't been doing this for years. And so to build a team like that, a starting lineup like that, great job. Looks good. Great team.
I can't remember which team he inherited, but none of the teams that were out there to inherit were particularly good. Yeah. So it's pretty impressive. I remember we did Kyle and Oscar and Will and I did a kind of spontaneous, did a pretty spontaneous snake draft, little mock draft a couple of weeks ago. And Will went in and he was like picking up quarterbacks super early and like making these picks. And I was like, oh, we're going to demolish him in the draft. And then he comes out with this amazing draft.
Will had like 3 quarterbacks in that mock draft. And we were like, oh man, this is going to be great. We're going to eat this dude's lunch. So he's still got 2 quarterbacks. Will, you don't need you don't need a quarterback on your bench. You just pick them up off of the waivers. Nobody was going to draft Derek Carr, I promise. Somebody else back there.
He had to lock him up, man.
Las Vegas fan. Nobody was going to get Derek Carr, so you can leave him on waivers and pick him up whenever you want. So, but anyway, great job, Will. Work on that bench, and your team's going to be tough to beat. So, great job.
Yeah, and then my pick was Rick with the Drew Loch Ness Monster, and I thought Rick did a great job. I mean, he's got Drew Lock, so. But Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, Julio Jones, Kenny Golladay, Noah Fant, Chris Carson, Butker. I mean, top-rated kicker for whatever that's worth. The Chiefs. Just really great starting lineup. Once again, a little bit at the expense of the bench, but not bad prospects there. I mean, you got Philip Lindsay sitting on the bench. Who knows what's going to happen there? James White should be really good for at least the first few weeks before Damian Harris comes back. Jerry Jeudy, let's see what happens. You know, Christian Kirk. So there's some really good prospects there. He also has Sony Michel and Sammy Watkins, which you might as well just go ahead and drop them and pick somebody up off waivers. But
I've said this before. I had Sammy Watkins, I think his second year in the league, and I said I would never play him again. I would never draft him again. Every week that I put him in, he was terrible. So then every week that I put him in, he was terrible. So I'd pull him out, and then that week he would just go lights out insane. And so I'd put him back in, and then he'd be terrible again. And so I will never ride the Sammy Watkins train again in my life. So good luck with that one. Remember last year at the first week, he killed it. He had like 30-something points. And I think Micah picked him up off of waivers, or he had him or something. And I was like, good luck with that. I wouldn't touch that dude with a 10-foot pole. And sure enough, Sammy Watkins didn't do nothing the rest of the season. I don't think the rest of his season he even got back to 30 points with those other 15 games combined.
Yeah. Sammy Watkins doesn't even have high expectations for his season.
Absolutely.
He's like, I'll be pretty mediocre this year. I want to win a Super Bowl. So.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. So, I agree on your pick. Rick's team looks fantastic. I think with the starting lineup, really, no offense, Rick, but his only downfall is his starting quarterback with Drew Lock. So other than that, his team looks fantastic. So great job on that.
Yeah, looks really good. Sony Michel, I rode that bus last year, and I could not trade Sony Michel for a bag of chips last year. He had like 242 carries or touches or something, and did nothing with them. I think there was 1 week where you're actually okay, I played him, like that's okay. Not like happy, but not sad. And oh my gosh. So, but hey, he's on your bench, so you know who cares?
Right.
So draft was fun. Thank you guys again. I wanted to hit a couple things, just kind of commissioner's notes, clarify a couple things. First of all, trades. You don't need to send your trades to me. Just put them in through Sleeper. You can do, you know, as we saw, Kyle and Obed and Will and Diego did a 4-way trade. You can do all that in the system. Do it all in the system. If there is draft cash in the trade, just write that into the chat after the trade gets accepted. It's real important that you not just say what the trade is. You need to actually perform the trade, because the 24-hour clock doesn't start until everyone accepts the trade in Sleeper. And so that's real important. Like I said, if there's draft cash, just write that in a note after it gets accepted. Oscar, can you guys create polls?
I believe so.
Okay.
And I think you can make a poll and people can vote on the trade. If not, Jonathan will get that. He's pretty good as a commissioner, so he'll line up that poll pretty quickly afterwards.
Yeah, and you can even just say see above, pass, veto. It takes 8 votes to veto a trade, so that's 2/3 majority, 8 votes. So just so you know, so if you get 5 votes to pass, basically it passes unless somebody changes their vote. It also trades a little bit. I hate that 24-hour rule. I still am pushing for us to get rid of that at some point. I know why we've got it, and I know why we've got it, but anyway, it just kind of slows things down. So if you want to get Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Patrick Mahomes, you better pull that off today. And sometimes there's a lag in the system of trade. Like if a trade happens today, then it's 24 hours, and so then it executes tomorrow. but then for some reason it seems like it doesn't actually move the players until the evening or something. And so if you're running into that and that game's coming up, like especially a Thursday, let me know. I'll make sure that it processes and you can put the players in your lineup. That's the deal. That's why I don't like the 24-hour rule. Is it just slows that whole process down, especially for a Thursday game, makes it real hard. So, but anyway,
Yeah, I dream of the day when we can just move to instant trades, when people aren't trying to game the system. Most of the trades that have been going through, everybody votes to allow them because they're fair trades. And as long as they're fair trades, I don't see why a trade shouldn't go through. I don't see why we would need to veto anything. But stuff has happened in the past. And so hopefully we'll get to a day when we won't need to have the veto rule in place anymore, because we're all adults and we can all make fair trades. And so I think that'll be one cool thing about Sleeper is that you can actually you can add fab budget into the trade. And so you guys that have never done fab, the auction system is fantastic. I love it. It is so much better than worst team gets first pick on waivers. And so I know towards the end of the season, fab cash doesn't really matter, but at the beginning of the season, the more fab cash you have, the better. So if you want to throw some fab cash into those trades, go for it in Sleeper. It's pretty great.
Yeah, and that is different than your draft cash. Fab is during the season, picking people up off waivers. Draft cash is just for the draft. And speaking of fab, so the way that'll work, just make sure everybody knows, you put in, it's blind bids, blind bid auction. You put it in every day starting on Tuesday. You can put that in, and then each night it'll clear. I think at like 1:05 a.m. Central, and whoever has the highest bid wins. If there's a tie, then it will go into that like lowest, whoever's highest waiver priority, which is I think reverse standings. And but it's really great, and you can look and see how much everybody bid. You can see if you overbid or if you overpaid, or you paid $30 for Randall Cobb when nobody actually wanted him, like old Nate did last year, and then put him back on the waiver wire. So that's how it will work: Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and then Sunday after waivers clear on Sunday morning. Middle of the night, then waivers will be open Sunday and Monday. So you can just pick a player up. You can just pick up and add and drop on Sunday and Monday, so that if something happens Sunday morning, you can make a move that you need to on Sunday morning. And then Monday, I think once the game is over, or once the game starts, everything's locked and you can't pick anybody up. People are locked once their game starts, so there's not a lot of options once you get to Monday. But then everything will lock up. Nothing runs Tuesday, and then it starts over on Wednesday, which is the kind of the typical process. It's just that there's a stop point. So, you got anything on that?
No, it's great. It's great information. I love this about our league. It's not just some simple pick your guys and throw them in. Like, there's strategy involved. And if you're not paying attention to the strategy, you're going to end up in last place pretty quickly. So, yeah, you got to play the strategy. You got to play the game fairly. So, yeah, I love it. It's good stuff.
And you can put in $0 bids, so you don't have to bid $1. If you think nobody's going to bid for them, put in a $0 bid. It won't cost you draft cash, or it won't cost you fab. The really important thing is that we don't want to limit transactions. And so, like, if you're out of fab, you can still make adds and drops. You just don't have a lot of leverage. But yeah. So, yeah, I think those are kind of my notes. Trying to think, is there anything else that's weird or confusing?
I don't think so. Once it starts rolling and once you start doing the fab system, you get the hang of it pretty quickly. Yeah. Like I said, it's like Jonathan said, it's basically a blind auction. So you bid what you think that player is worth to you, and you may lose some sleep come Tuesday night, is it Tuesday night when they clear?
Yeah.
You're thinking, oh man, maybe I should go up $1 or $2 or $5.
Uh-huh.
And then come Wednesday morning, you're either going to be super happy or super crushed. And so that's the fun of it. It's the beauty of it. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we'll and like I said something last night, but I know people were not able to make moves last night, and so I apologize for that. I had locked things up so nobody was making illegal pickups, but I got that cleared up today. I went ahead and ran a trial on it, so everything should be good. Waivers will run tonight, and so if you need to pick people up, make moves, I know Andrew's slamming somebody over on IR, and that was a smart strategy there. And so anyway, you can do that tonight. But we're going to get into this week's matchups because football starts tomorrow, starts Thursday with the Chiefs and the Texans. So
We made it, guys. We made it. Just so y'all know, we absolutely made it. We didn't know what was going to happen with this year. We didn't know what was going on, but we made it to football season. It starts tomorrow, and it's going to happen.
heck yeah, man. It's going to be great. Oh, man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So we're going to just run through the matchups real quick. Me and Will are facing off. And then we got Chris and Kyle, Team Cryburn versus the Future, which I agree with Andrew. Kyle, your new name needs to be Deep Sleepers.
Deep Sleepers, it's you, buddy.
The deeper, the better. And then we got Rick, the Drew Loch Ness Monster, versus Diego, Diego, you also need a new team name, bro.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
Wasn't
it Straight Cash, homie?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And then we got the 3-time champ, Andrew Strand, versus who's your poppy, Mr. Obed Barrero, who is from Puerto Rico. So there you go.
Yeah.
Then we got Gary, Team Crane Elite versus Deshaun of the Dead, Justin Marath. And then Oscar, you're taking on Luke.
I am. Yep. It'll help when I get a defense in there. Apparently, you don't have to fill your roster, and you can pick up a wide receiver if you don't have a defense in the draft. So I do not have a defense, but hopefully I'll have one by tomorrow.
Come on.
I'll have one by Sunday, that's for sure.
Well, that's what I'll say. If you want either the Chiefs or the Texans, of course, they may not be available, but you need to pick them up tonight because tomorrow will not be open waivers. So that is something with the Fab. If you're looking for somebody that plays on a Thursday night, you got to pick them up Wednesday night, because you can't get them during the day on Thursday. So, What matchup besides? Do you have a message for Luke? I mean, what are you gonna do here to Luke?
No, I think, like I said, once I get a defense in there, I think it's actually going to be pretty close. It's a toss-up. Luke's got a good team. For leaving as much money as he did in his draft budget, he's got a great team. He's going with that 2 tight end stack of Kittle and Ertz. We'll see how that plays out for him. But yeah, I think it's a fairly even matchup. I don't think Melvin Gordon's going to be as good as he was in San Diego or LA, whatever they are, the Chargers. That could swing in my favor a little bit, but I think it's a fairly even matchup. When I get a defense in there, come on, Luke, let's see what you got. Bring it on.
When Luke drafted Ertz while keeping Kittle, I really thought he was dumb. But it does make some sense. I mean, Ertz and Kittle are essentially they're probably like I can't remember where they would have landed as wide receivers, like in the teens, or Ertz maybe in the 20s.
Yeah.
It's not a bad strategy.
It's not at all. I don't know that I would have paid that much for a flex player, but hey, kudos to Luke. He got it and he's going for it. And so we'll see what happens.
And it's his boy, Eagles fan.
He can change his name back to make it Ertz so good.
There you go. I was actually a little disappointed that Justin didn't go a little harder for some of those Eagles.
Yeah, he really didn't. So we did see some fanboy stuff. People going after their team players, and so we saw obviously Luke with the Eagles players. We saw Rick with his starting quarterback, Broncos. Will had quite a few Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders on his team, and so it happens.
Yeah.
So,
Who's the guy? He's got Carr.
it's got Derek Carr, Henry Ruggs. Who else? Got somebody. Oh, Brian Edwards. Yeah.
Bro,
So
I think you're thinking of somebody else.
nope. Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got Derek Carr, Brian Edwards. I thought he.
I think somebody else got Ruggs.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, never mind then.
Yeah. I think Luke was saying he felt like Will was a bigger Eagles fan than he was.
He got a few of those Eagles, didn't he?
Yeah, got Elliott. I don't know who else. Boston Scott.
Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. So, so what other matchup are you looking forward to?
I really think you thought Rick had just a great draft, and I did too. I didn't disagree with that. And Diego's got a solid team. He's got some great players on his team, so I think that could be the matchup of the week. And as a matter of fact, I just noticed that the percentages show 51% and 49%, so it's fairly even.
Yeah.
I like that matchup. I'm curious to see who wins that one. Those are both great teams.
Oh, interesting. I just looking through the names, I kind of side on. Well, now Diego doesn't even have a kicker in yet.
Yeah.
But
oh, sure doesn't.
I kind of like Rick's names better, but the system sure doesn't. Projections don't.
Well, see, I was looking at Diego's, and I like Diego's names better. So there you go. There's your 50-50 split right there.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be good. I think that's gonna be a really good game to watch. I think yours and Luke's will be a good game. I am eager to see mine and Will's. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I still maintain that the Michael Thomas of 2019 was not the Michael Thomas of reality, but we'll see.
We shall.
There's my wife.
Hey, Jenna.
Hey. You're on the podcast. Yeah, I know. She's super excited. Super excited about it in general. Yeah, man. I think those are the matchups, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun to see what happens.
Fantasy football is back, baby. Let's do this. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait for football on Sunday. I was telling my wife, I cannot wait until this Sunday when I can come home and just throw on football after church. So exciting. There's been nothing to do after church on Sundays, kind of like fiddling around, doing some yard work. Yard work's done. Sorry, yard work on Sundays. No more. Football is on. I'm all in. So I'm excited. Can't wait.
Yeah, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be cool. And college starts this weekend, which is fun too.
College-ish starts this weekend. Some colleges.
Yeah. The important ones do.
That's right.
But awesome. Well, thank you guys. Good luck. And this will probably be the longer podcast of the season. We had a lot to cover today, but if you have questions or anything going into the season, let us know. Get in there on the chat, and good luck. Hope you have a great season. Not too great, but great-ish.
Great-ish. That's right. Good luck. Can't wait. It's on.
All right. See you guys.